Well, it's time for our weekly table talk, where we interact with God's Word and how it intercepts with our lives and maybe helps us realign what we think with what God thinks. Today we're finishing Romans chapter 9. It's verses 30 through 33, and Paul's answering the question, what about Israel? Israel's received the patriarchs, the prophets, and the promises. Good alliteration. How are they saved? Because they have the law. Paul points out it's never been the law. From Genesis through Hosea, through the Gospels, it's always been faith. In Genesis chapter 1, God says that Abraham believed God and it was counted as righteousness. That means it was counted like he did the right thing. So, hear what Paul says about Israel. What shall we say then? That Gentiles who did not pursue righteousness have attained it. That is, a righteousness that is by faith. But that Israel, who pursued a law that would lead to righteousness, did not succeed in reaching that law. Why? Because they did not pursue it by faith, but as if it were based on works. They have stumbled over the stumbling stone, as it is written, Behold, I am laying in Zion a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense, and whoever believes in him shall not be put to shame. Paul writes this letter, and it reminds me of when Natalie and I were crib shopping. We drove to San Francisco. We were living in Fresno at the time, and we wanted to get a relatively inexpensive but healthy crib, without lead or slivers or anything that would poison our upcoming child. So we went to IKEA. Wandered around, did the maze, looked at lamps, looked at rugs, looked at cutting boards, and finally purchased the crib. And at checkout, they asked if we wanted one that was pre-assembled. And I was offended because Natalie has always said that I am surprisingly handy. After all, my plan had been to take this thing home, drive home 3 hours, get out my tools, and even read the instructions and put this thing together. Now, eventually I did get it together, and it survived at least both of our children so far. But it took longer than I thought. See, I was offended because I thought I knew how to do it. I thought I knew it was right. That's the way that we oftentimes treat our faith. Like we sort of can do it. Not that we don't need God's help. I mean, I needed the instruction manual. I knew that I always would. And we always think that we need sort of God's instruction manual. That's the way we treat the Bible, right? Bible, basic instructions before leaving earth is what we're told in Sunday school. But it's more than basic instructions. It's actually about Jesus. It's faith fully assembled. It is salvation given to you and to me. So wherever you're at, if you're at home or you're at work, or if you're like one of the millions of people that I know right now that seem to be on vacation during a pandemic, maybe ask this question. When's a time that you were offended, that somebody asked you a question that you thought was just so obvious the answer to? For me, it was, how dare you ask me if I need help with assembly? When's the time that you were offended and then it turned out that they were right to ask? So, ask that question and know that your God has given you faith, whole and complete to make you holy. See, I can do it too. You are saved by Jesus. He has done the mighty work. May the Lord bless you and keep you. I hope to see you very soon. And if you have questions or comments or thoughts about Table Talk, let me know. You can email me at matt.golseth@concordiapullman.org or just give us a call. God's peace.